There is something magical about rainy streets, kind of poetry that only rain can create. The way reflections shimmer on the ground, the soft glow of lights through mist, the mood, the sense of quiet in chaos, the gentle hush of the world. Hey folks, welcome back. Good to see you all. I've always been drawn to rain, and today I want to share why I love painting rainy streetscapes in watercolor and what it really means to me to paint the rain. From glistening reflections to mood and emotion of a rainy day, I'll walk you through my thoughts, my watercolor process, and the emotional connection I feel when I paint rain. In a street scene, every sign, lamppost, window, building, car, you waiting for the cab without an umbrella, all these parts of a bigger picture, like characters in a large painting. Streetscapes are like living stories, whether it's a busy city or a quiet alley, and when it rains, those stories feel deeper. People rush under umbrellas, headlights streak through wet roads, the city reflects itself, they change with the lights when on and off. It's like a painting within a painting. I think we all have memories tied to rain, and that's what I love most about painting it. It connects us through shared emotions. Here is an incident I'll never forget. Back in 2009, it was nearly midnight when a storm hit. The rain didn't fall. It slammed against the city like it was angry. I was at the station, soaked to my bones, clutching my dry phone that had already lost the battle to the wind. The last train was scheduled in 10 minutes, but the platform announcements were all static. No train in sight, just rain, thunder, and flickering fluorescent lights. I wasn't alone. There was a man in a trench coat pacing, a teenage couple gathered near the vending machine, and then there was her. She was around 40-45 years of age. She stood by the edge of the platform completely still, as if the rain didn't touch her. She wasn't holding an umbrella. Her long red dress, soaked and heavy, clung to her as though it didn't belong in this decade. I noticed her because she wasn't blinking, even when lighting split the sky right behind her. The trenchcoat man approached her cautiously, said something, she didn't respond, just turned her head very slowly towards him. And then it happened, the power went out. The entire station plunged into darkness, except for brief splashes of lightning. Everyone froze. A crack of thunder roared so loud, it felt like the sky had split open. And when the emergency lights flickered back on, she was gone. No footsteps, no splash, no screams, just the sound of the rain. The man in the trench coat backed away, visibly shaken. A minute later, the last train rolled in, silent, empty. Its headlights barely cut through the curtains of rain. I never saw that woman again. But sometimes when it rains hard enough, I can almost hear a train horn in the distance, far off, like a whisper from the past. Rain for me is nostalgic. It reminds me of walking home from school, the smell of wet earth. It reminds me of those monsoon days when everything smelled fresh and new. When it rains, I feel connected to nature, even in the middle of a busy city. Thank you, God, for the rain. Rain literally transforms the world. No two rainy days feel the same. The way red lights hits the surface, how the air feels cooler, how colors seem more richer. It's like seeing the city through a fantasy lens. Rain has always felt comforting to me. It's a time when the world slows down. The sounds of rain, soft, steady, calming. As I paint, colors become vibrant. Reflections create patterns. The atmosphere becomes mysterious, just like watercolor, and that's why I feel watercolor is perfect for this. Because watercolor itself is part of the medium, just like rain is part of the scene. You can let paint flow, create soft edges, blur things like wet glass on distant buildings. You can lift paint for lights, or maybe use some gouache like I do, or splatter for the raindrops. Watercolor and rain, they both are unpredictable, and that's what makes painting them so much fun. When I start a rainy streetscape, I begin with a light wash. I block in the bigger shapes first, the sky, the buildings, and the street itself. Then I think about where the reflections will go. Where is the light coming from? Where would the street hold puddles? I let the water on paper help me. Sometimes I tilt the paper so the paint runs down. Little things like that bring the scene to life. I use a lot of wet on wet for the reflections. I drop in color and let it flow. Then I add sharper details like a figure with an umbrella or glowing street lights. So once the first wash is dry, I go back and add the darker tones. I try to keep some areas soft and misty. It brings sharper details where I want your eyes to go. The balance between loose and controlled brushwork is what creates the mood. And I always remind myself to keep it loose and not to overwork it. With rain, sometimes the suggestion of shapes is more powerful than too many details. When I paint rain, I feel at peace. It reminds me of walking through my city, watching people hurry by. I feel connected to those moments of quiet. When I paint rainy streets, I want the viewer to feel what I feel, the peaceful mood, the atmosphere. I want my paintings to remind you of those little moments, standing under a shop waiting, watching the world blur through, hearing the soft patter of rain on the streets. So that's it. That's why I love painting rainy streetscapes. The mood, the memories, the atmosphere, the reflections, the emotions. And even it's not a watercolor paper I'm painting on right now, I hope it captures at least 1% of that rain magic. If this painting spoke to you or reminded you of a rainy day you loved, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you enjoy these kind of watercolor journeys and stories and talks like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe and join me for more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.